Okay, back with day 2. We're investigating in the back of the bookstore in the doomed commercial district. He just yelled up the chimney, unplugged the freezer.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge, slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Okay, so I'm plugged to the ice cream, so let's see if I can...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Okay, let me equip pry bar.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Turn the ice cream crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping.
Okay. So the pry bar isn't strong enough, but at least helps with gloves and machine being unplugged. Physical instrument. Do I have any clothes that help with that? I don't have... Okay, I don't have anything. It's white check,
This
so might as well
orange
try
machine is dead still. It
Hopefully
has
if
a
I find a
hand-cranked
stronger
ice cream
pry
churner
bar
and an electric freezer.
later.
The ice around
Come
it
back and try
slowly
it again, since
melting.
it's white check. Crack open the lid.
The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You think you've got the bar jammed in there pretty well, but the lid simply won't budge. You see the pry bar's metal handle bending right before your very eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but this ice cream maker is frozen shut. It takes an advanced tool to get it open.
Advanced? Where do we get one?
I have no idea, officer. This ice cream maker isn't important enough to requisition a special tool.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in this mysterious ice cream maker.
Okay. Glad at least I didn't lose the pry bar, because I was worried there for a moment that I did. Oh, okay. I can get back there pretty easily. Okay, so I need a password to the one thing.
An old call, East Delta Commerce Center. This silence. No one. Silence. Nothing happens. Silence. This button looks...
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Volition. Do I have anything to help Volition? No, I don't have anything to minus it. Okay, it's white check, so...
An old call box. East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Flipstream SCA. And
An old call box with
it's a
the
white
East
thing, so I
Delta
can try it
Commerce
again.
Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
Slipstream SCA.
No. Hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something else to do.
Okay, guess not. Okay. How do I get upstairs? It sounded like there was an upstairs too. Was the chimney. Yes. basement.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
I don't get it.
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed. How sad. That's just speculation. We don't know anything for sure.
Reality is ruthless.
Okay. Quick thought. Okay. And upstairs we can get to. I'm confused where the chimney went then.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus. Pause dramatically.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore. Honestly, a dump. Nothing to see there, just heaps of garbage. Someone should let the sunshine in. I'm no position to give out personal. Failed business.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us.
She shakes her head.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity.
Okay, so how do I find that entity? Do I need to be let in?
An old called East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doom. You hear the same waiting room music, but no one picks up the receiver anymore.
How do I get up to where the chimney leads?
A thick layer of coal dust.
That's it for that. She talked about like a safety curtain she pulled back. Oh. Oh, yes, this way. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Oh, if there's snow, then that means somebody was here. Floorboards creak. postcard. Postcard Lug Delta 51. The sunlight has made this postcard almost a completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes overhead. The ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist. Vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Somebody. Trays full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. Okay, so this is Laura Bailey.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Hold on, what do you mean by Milus?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
How about the one we're playing right now? Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice. Maybe, I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly. I was looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers. I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer and I need to ask some questions. Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual.
I have enough money for it.
Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
How did you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus? And you never took your eyes off of the work to look out the window? You often work Sunday nights? What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops to try to come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off of the work to look out the window.
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
She admits.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers. Conclude.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place? Look around the room.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Creative.
The lieutenant looks around the spacious room, its ceiling fading into the shadows above.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
She nods as the wind howls in from the surface, furnace shaft above. Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
She shrugs. Lessons is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
She raises her brows. Lessons is a wise woman. She has Semini's trinkets protecting her against the curse. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers. She has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going. The curse is just biding its time before it strikes again. Sooner or later, everyone will fare. Even her. I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's why I'm here to investigate. Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on, the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area? Yes, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there. No, the whirling isn't doing that well either. Its waitress just took off and customers have trouble paying bills. You're right, the whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed. No, the whirling isn't doing that well either.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files, to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Lessons thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity. Because you're competent and dedicated to your craft, the curse doesn't affect people like you. The curse will get to you, have no doubt about it. It just doesn't care about earthly time frames. I'll be the first to admit there are so many inconsistencies in the so-called curse. Going with the last one.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
She leans forward in her chair to study your face. I think it might be. I think it still might be you that's causing this near your eyes, very mysteriously. I'm starting to think there's no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations. Honestly, I'm not so sure. This world is a puzzling place. There's no curse.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
She pinches the root of her nose.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
Oh, it's you again.
Do you have anything that helps with shivers? No.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
Do you know what happened to other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Just the yellow scarf that covers her hair.
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I would never let anyone androgynous touch my hair, not even if my life depended on it. I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have opinions on hairstyles. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting?
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
She tucks a strand of hair under the headscarf. What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Who was Artenip?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs. A community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
Her eyes narrow in the dim light. He's sort of the king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies. Indeed, who is Kuno? Your guess is as good as mine. Little ginger gremlin.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out of the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
I like how Harry has to think about that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right?
She sighs.
Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieu. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Well, very cool about the debris, but what's a snuff milieu?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Oh.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
I was thinking it was not safe for work in a different way that wasn't quite so violent, but okay.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
The lieutenant turns to you.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Then she lets the thought go. Someone here makes stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What in the name of? I didn't know insects had any right, or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insects, not. But insects don't have any brains or feelings. They got what they deserved. Making clothes out of beetle wings is a terrible idea. Insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Interesting. What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Her smile widens before she sees the lieutenant's face behind you.
Men like that are a curse.
The lieutenant is stern.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them? Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
No, I think we should make a sword out of one. That'd be fun. I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway, as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind the curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive. Really, they must have been on a gigantic ego trip. Quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great. You're right, they should have just tried harder. They had everything needed to succeed. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Anything else?
There was a terrifying taxidermed bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
All right, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving.
Fritta does the same thing.
I know a girl just like that. She works in Frit as a cashier, she's not particularly friendly. What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around you? I don't have an opinion on employing teens. I just want to know, did it work out for the business? I know a girl like that.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing thumbs into her temples, like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out.
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Nod solemnly. It's the market doing its job. Sure, the bear was doing its best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared, like it could come alive at any moment now. I killed the bear. I'm sure the bear was doing its best.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
How come?
He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
I don't do drugs. I do drugs. I've got a vision beast myself. I don't have comment on drugs.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad, finishing this story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Little sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
She rubs her forehead. Her scarf has left a faint line on her dusty skin.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
So you're telling me that the doorbell with the empty name card was yours? I was wondering about the whirling and rags. Is it part of the same building complex? Saw the name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell. A strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered. So you're telling me the doorbell with the empty name tag was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I was wondering about the whirling and rags. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area. The darkness of this place is there, too.
I saw a name East Delta Pinball on the doorbell.
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice: don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
The lieutenant chips in. A strange thing happened when I tried calling a company named Slipstream SCA. Someone answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years.
She looks like she doesn't really believe you.
Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
First, it wasn't Plaisance. I know her and would have recognized her voice.
Oh, right. But did this person say anything?
She still sounds skeptical. She said she was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the name.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
You're right, I probably just got made fun of. No, it was something else, something eerie. Narrow your eyes. May have been some sort of rare electrical anomaly. No, it was something else, something eerie.
Pranks can be eerie.
She looks as if she's still convinced it's nothing to be worried about.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
She shakes her head. I have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
Actually, I had other
Good.
questions.
I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Okay, I'd like to order a die from you.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. No
Dude,
need
I
to
don't know
rush.
what sort of die. Is it like difference? Do I have any? And yeah, no, I didn't have anything that increased shivers. Quick save.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for... Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Do you know about the rural untethered setting? I want a die for that. Do you have any cursed die? Tell me about your most extraordinary die. I'm sorry, I don't actually know what die I want. Just a normal die for me, please. Very regular. I'm looking for something to help with my work. Curious about that. Tell me about your most extraordinary die.
A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure?
No, I'm afraid it's not worth it. Sorry.
Alright, maybe some other die then.
I'm looking for something to help me with my work.
I think I have just the right one for you.
She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cratered in her palm.
You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
She tosses you the gut dice.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it.
Totally overthinking it. Catch the die.
Mr. Smooth Moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Wink at the dice maker.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it? You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else?
Sirens. These two 20-sided dice have the colors of a police alarm. Bloodstone for red and lapis lazuli for blue. You roll them and squint your eyes. It looks like you're arriving on the scene and it's raining. No, look at the map tab in journal to see which white tracks have opened.
Oh,
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Why hasn't her business failed?
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
I am not taking off your clothes.
She has begun to idly clean one of her carving tools with a dirty kerchief. The tool's sharp edge shining in the light of her desk lamp.
How to get back out? I wonder if I can get any more dice from her. But these ones are free, so I'm pretty happy with that. I need a better pry bar, though. Okay.
An inconspicuous pile of the
Okay. Quick save. I want to see what's behind this. I might save scum a little bit just because I really want... Oh, I need to tell Pleasance about my findings. Okay, let's go tell her, and then I might save scum a little bit over here because I really want to see what's behind that. Run, run. I'm just running around, like, pointing my flashlight into... Oh, yeah, I'm really enjoying this game. It was on sale for, like, $10 a little bit back, and I got it, and it's amazing. I'm already planning, like, multiple playthroughs. Thanks for coming and watching the stream.
what have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Neela, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
Her eyes widen. She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman, like you. No, ma'am, I've felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse. She may be involved, but I don't have a way to question the malignant entity further. She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
She says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies. She said it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a quirk of our economic system. Source is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in dark arts, darker than taxidermy, and brought the void spirits down upon this place. Honestly, I don't have an answer yet. There are still leads to be followed, like the strange radio computer thing. There is another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in matinees. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it. She says it's just capitalism. Bankruptcy is a curse of our economic system.
Wait, what? The entire economic system is cursed?
Her entire face goes white as a skull. I mean, I'm afraid that only a world revolution can help you. Yes, the system must be cleansed of immigrant labor. It's true, we live in a precarious world. Nothing ever turns out right. You need to get used to chaos. What I meant was, I found the source of the doom. Forget about the economy thing. It's true, we live in a precarious world. Nothing ever turns out right. You need to get used to chaos.
Precarious world? Economy?
She looks down at the pen and in her trembling hands.
I understand what's going on here. You went in there, rummaged around, and accomplished nothing. And now you're telling me these intellectual things to cover up for it. It's okay. You don't have to. I was wrong to trust another person. I will manage this psychic calamity as I always have. Alone. On my own. Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
She concludes, tucking the pendant away in her blouse.
Wow. Total psychic collapse between you two right now. There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone into her own mind.
I mean, I could have lied.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
He turns to you. Okay. Well, that was fun anyway. Even if it had absolutely nothing to do with our actual, goals or anything. Okay. Run around with a flashlight and a pry bar. Okay. I really want to see what's behind there. So, quick save. And it's perception. Nothing I have that can help me with perception. I think the sunglasses only made the perception worse, so.
An inconspicuous pile.
Sound of melting snow dripping off the roof. It's strange.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Why am I looking at this pile of the roofing material?
Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Ooh, secret door. Pull the panels aside.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
He peeks inside. Secret door, secret door. Secret, 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 secret door. Okay, in case there's any junk on the floor. Ooh, 40 cents. Silver plate with traces of bone yellow powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine.
I don't want to do any drugs.
The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere? I wasn't thinking about taking it. I swear, I was just thinking about justice. I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective? Someone has taken narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere?
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective.
He
However,
looks at you. He points to the ladder in the corner.
see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path the local kids use.
Secret tunnel. Poster says get out of the way or get effed up. Bird pig's head. It looks mummified. Empty tube of magnesium supplement. Magnesium supplement you rub on your chest to live a happy magnesium-rich life. Ooh. Can I get over here? Ooh, I can get over here. I'm wanting to see what was up here. Restoration pillars keep the ruins together. Okay, oh, another postcard. Some money. 80 cents. This doorway A is gonna collapse soon. There's a fan. Money now. Break it down.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
I want it.
When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
You son of a gun. It's a cop's cloak.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment.
He judges the drop.
You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Look around.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard.
Oh, wow.
That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Also 1020 HK. Point at the crane.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
He looks at the sad piece of fabric floating in the wind. What exactly are we doing up here?
I was under the impression we are on our way to meet the king of this castle under siege, Evrard, one of the people we're interviewing. This way we may be able to get around his henchmen. Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He looks around, wind rustling his hair. Why not both? Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump?
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it,
He looks over the ledge, at the cold pavement below.
well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Okay, savoir faire. Postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock Quarter. 13-story buildings line the hillside like sarcophagi, an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last boom years. In 39, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind an opiate and hepatitis B infested slum. Okay, flare cuts, trousers. Okay, so I'm gonna take off my pants.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Go for the cloak. Jump over the ledge. I'm gonna hurt myself. No.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up there.
Holy wow, that's high. Doesn't seem dangerous. The lieutenant must be crazy to suggest this. This is certain death. Vertigo almost pushes you over the edge.
You could have died there. Shit. I'm failing you. This wasn't part of our deal.
Hey! What happened?
I'm alright, Kim. I just can't do it right now.
I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all.
I don't want to... I'm getting a little bit bad about this, but...
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM.
So, let's have you sneak under their noses, done with immense panache.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Go for the cloak. Jump over the ledge.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Close your eyes. Let your senses take in the world around you.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
Continue the voyage through the salty air.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
The lieutenant exclaims.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
Police coat, made from heavy tarpaulin. It would be nigh wind and waterproof if it weren't for 3 bullet holes scattered on the surface. The signature white rectangle of the RCM covers the garment's back. Oh yeah, I'm not wearing any pants. Let's put the pants back on. And a little bit better shirt. Not great. I like the captain's shirt coat because it covered things up better. But whatever. Okay. Getting right in the water. And actually, this is gonna be where I'm leaving it today. Because I've hit a fair amount. It's at least 3 packs of cigarettes worth of cigarette butts, numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and Chrysler. I can get money from those.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather. You need to rest. Your body is aching. Get an inhale.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna continue this next time. But made lots of progress today. Finished investigating the doomed commercial area. Got a set of dice. And then finally figured out what was behind the suspicious pile of roofing materials and found a secret way past the racist guard, I guess. So, whoop. Should have plenty to do next time. I need to interview Everett and the Wild Pines people, and investigate everything back there. Oh, and I have enough money so that I have somewhere to sleep for tonight. Oh, and I need to send Kim Kitsuragi away with the body at some point. But I'm probably gonna do that like right before I go to sleep tonight. Sadly, that means I probably won't be able to get the like late night like review things with him. But I didn't want to like lose him for longer. I guess I probably could have investigated the doomed commercial area without him. But I like investigating things with him because I like him and I like hearing his responses. Thanks. So, anyway, talk to you next time.